Hey, it's Flango. There are no deck doctor suggestions for the day, so I figured I'd show off one of my decks that I'm playing with. I think we'll do Weave today. So, I guess I'll take you into the list first. And this is definitely not a complete list, so maybe we'll upgrade it a little bit today. The main idea of the Weave deck is you play Deep Space Warrior, you go in and swing at them, you take a bunch of damage, and then you pop out and you use your regen to heal back up. Now I do have Wraithblade because Deep Space Warrior can sustain 2 Wraithblades safely, bringing his attack from 15. This is +6, right? Yeah. So from 15 up to 27, which, if we look at attack, 27 is the highest attack in the game. At least of all the cards that I have. There might be like 1 or 2 cards that have more. Um, but I don't even think that's true. So yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Now, we also have Soul Stealer. Um, just one. I feel like it's probably the only card that might go, but I run it because mana is nice to have. Now, what do I do with my mana? I should be sorting this by cost. I play Deep Space Warrior. I have one more. I play Death from Beyond. It's a good finisher. It also has the whole like heal itself every turn, which is kind of neat. Um, and then I play Psycho Fiend. And I think Psycho Fiend is really the shining part of this deck. I go in with Deep Space Warrior, I swing, and then I Psycho Fiend myself out. Or I can play Death from Beyond for that Psycho Fiend synergy because if I move them, Death from Beyond can hit again. Um, what else do we have here? Explosion! I might or might not run it in the future, but I feel like if I can do 20 damage to everything and then heal it up with Deep Space Warrior, that's not the end of the world. But I did initially build this deck before the explosion changes, so that's another card I'll be looking to get rid of. And then I'm just running Ephemeral Gardens. They're good in this sort of deck, especially since I am running Oasis, as you can see. Oasis is really good for Deep Space Warrior because it lets me, again, keep running in and out. Now, the other reason I run Oasis is because it's good against, like, water decks, fire decks, all these decks that rely on land, even swamp decks. Whereas, if I were to just run, like, who's that guy, Dunestrider? Yeah, if I were to just run Dunestrider, I would only be able to make 1 Oasis per turn. Which is sometimes not good enough. I might decide that I would rather have Dunestrider than Oasis in this deck. That's another card maybe I'll keep an eye on. And then finally, I'm running Luminaries. I like Luminaries because they move fast, so they threaten to kill mana cards very early. And then, with a Wraithblade, they actually do. That's sort of all I have to say. They also do a lot of damage. They're just a decent card. But yeah, I don't have like an idea of. There's no real straight line cards that are free that do any damage. Like it's just Autumn Sprite. I guess Nebulous, but again, it doesn't do damage instantly. And then there were no, well, nothing else really moves that far other than straight line. Um, oh, I guess like horizontal, vertical. What does that um, insect guy have? Yeah, horizontal, vertical too. Horizontal, space, vertical. So yeah, I don't have anything with more than horizontal, vertical too. Anyways, um, so yeah, and like Soul Stealer is the same idea. It's good for killing mana cards, and it's good for Wraithblade. So well, yeah, we'll see. It's definitely not a complete deck in the sense it's not refined, but it's a good concept. Anyways, let's take it into a game. So, Void is most certainly the most complicated matchup, but I want to show you guys something like, yeah, Deep. So I can sort of show you how the deck is supposed to be played before I actually show you the most complicated matchup. Now, I think on the first turn, in most cases, it's correct to hit, and then you can escape later while leaving behind something that does damage. Especially in this case where he actually can't swing at me without playing a bug. Yeah. So just like that, we're gonna do it again. If he can do 37 damage, he wins, but that's fine. And I'm actually gonna do this again, so that he has to. This is exactly why I remember this situation. Now, okay. This deck also has the ability to be a very aggressive deck, as you can see here. I could be killing him a turn from now, but this does quite a bit of damage. I don't know why it did. Oh, it did. Yeah, it did 12, but I didn't die. So, and then this does, 25 damage, so I should just run away now. I'll go not all the way back. Now, if I went all the way back, that would be fine. But I like this diagonal better. It's a little bit easier to chase to the edges of the board where he probably won't have water. Like I could go right here. That would be not bad. It's kind of a hard decision between trying to kill my opponent and, trying to kill his mana. I can't kill the mana this turn. But it's not like I can kill my opponent this turn either. It's very hard to. I could go here, but then this Deep Sea Devil's in the way, and it can get a hit off. Oh, I can go here. So now he's in range for one hit with a Wraithblade. Now he's not. So I'm honestly not too worried about my health right now, and I'd rather get the mana as well as threaten to kill him this turn. He can flood with his Aqua Hydra, but I don't think he can kill me. Okay, well, he's dead because he glitched out. Otherwise, he would have swung at me. I would have taken some damage. I think I still could have killed him because I have this Psycho Fiend. No, I can't kill him. So I would have probably had to back off. And then play this card here, the Deep Space Warrior. And then swing at him with that. In fact, I'll do that still. That's what I would have had to do. And he still wouldn't be dead, but he would be very, very low. And so that's sort of the idea of this deck. You weave in and out, get a bunch of damage off, come back out. Now that was obviously the easiest match ever for this deck, so let's show you one more. This would work against a Thunder Dragon, whatever that guy's called. That guy as a king. So playing Explosion here is kind of a trap. It's much better to just play Ephemeral Garden. I play Ephemeral Garden there, but it should actually be played there. This blocks off one of my escapes, and I know he's going to approach from the bottom side because he's on the bottom side. Now, it's not that bad to attack. But I would rather come over here and save my mana for Psycho Fiend. I guess I should just play this, because next turn I'll have enough mana. There was a chance he would kill my Ephemeral Garden, and then I wouldn't. So now that I have Psycho Fiend, I can be a lot more aggressive here. I still cannot end my turn next to him, because he does 25 damage, which I think ends up being 20 because I'm on Crystal. But then this does 12, or 9, okay, maybe not, but 20 plus 9 plus 9, that's still enough to kill me. If I end my turn there, it's okay. But again, if I'm not going to get an attack off, what's the point? I'd like to kill the Nebulous as soon as I can. This is like one of the very few situations where killing Nebulous is a big deal. I'm going to line up here. And I might as well hit it. Now if the Nebulous blows up, I still get to keep my Luminary. Okay. That's a card I actually do want to kill. Yeah, let's just do it. And then I'll play a Psycho Fiend and move myself back. Now next turn I can just swing at him and move myself back again and again. Although this Nebulous is a little bit annoying, so I might actually prefer to play Wraithblade and move myself back into the Nebulous. Yeah, I'm gonna play the Wraithblade. Thing. Force the Nebulous back. Here's better because then it can't go here. There's arguments to be made that you'd rather have it here, but I can swing at it no matter what. Like I could blow up with the Psycho Fiend if he comes here, and then kill it with this. Or I could just kill it with this now. This square is open, which isn't optimal, but whatever. I also can play like another Psycho Fiend next turn. Okay. That's fair enough. I'm gonna have to play another Psycho Fiend. How much is my attack again? 21. Okay, so let's do that. Now I shouldn't be too worried, but I also shouldn't be too comfortable. Luminaries don't die to Nebulous. So if I just play this Luminary here, that's not a bad play. Alternatively, I might want to play like an Oasis so I can heal up more. Against this deck, you really want to just outlive the Nebulous. He doesn't have a lot of cards, like he wastes a lot of time on fishing and stuff. The Soul Stealer is not a bad play. I'm gonna move out, sit on top of an Oasis, just chill. And then this card here will go in. This is why I run the second Deep Space Warrior. You can weave with it too, and then it lets you sort of take turns taking damage. I think in an optimal world, then I would actually be running 2 Deep Space Warriors, but I worry a little bit about mana, which might be incorrect, but we'll see. Next thing I'm trying to do is, like I would play Ephemeral Garden. Just because I need the mana to play this card, Death from Beyond. Death from Beyond is really, really good into like Cosmos Dragon. I want the mana from this. I think I'll stay on the Oasis just to heal. Yeah. So you saw last turn, or last game, this was a very aggressive deck. And then this game is a very slow deck. We play for big value, which is, excuse me, which is exactly what we get. This deck is big value. Play Psycho Fiend. Now you get to see the combo in action. I'm gonna leave this guy alone still. Healing your king is like always worth it. Now next turn I can use Psycho Fiend to relocate Space Warrior towards my opponent if I like. But I think I don't like. I think I would like to just force him back. Hard to say what he has, but this is probably the best. Keep healing up so I can play an Explosion. I think Explosion isn't good in this deck. I think I'd rather have Barrier or some other small cost card. Now, 2 Psycho Fiends is awesome. So I'm going to do it. They can move towards, swing, away. Oh, and that's exactly what we're going to get to see. Spin, swing, move out. Nice and simple. Free damage. Okay, this card is ready to get into the action, I'd say. I'd actually like to put it here, so that I can swing here, or move past and then play like Explosion or something. I haven't played a card yet, right? I'm gonna play Ephemeral Garden. This one here is weird. This one's probably better. I thought that like I'd like to move into this space to sort of attack him from the side, but he's always gonna get to move, and then now I end up with this sort of position, which is a little bit awkward. So, if these 2 cards could tank a forest, then I would have the ability to hit him, but I don't. I can still Omni Slash, which I think is very good here. It's just a matter of putting this guy here. And maybe I want to deal with this card first. So 6 plus 5 is 11, which means I can't kill him without using an explosion, which I could do. It just feels like whatever. Although maybe that makes it the best play to just move up, move back. Right? Because to be honest, like I don't want to let him play mana cards. I don't know what his deck is. But if he hasn't been playing really anything interesting all this game, there's a reason for it. He might have Death from Beyond or something. So if I kill one unit and let him kill one next turn, that's just flat out worse than doing this. I should be chasing probably with these Space Warrior. Okay. Time to go down and kill that. And then I don't have any cards that can. Oh, I do. Okay, so I'm gonna go down here, play this, kill that. I don't know how he's getting so much mana. That's unfortunate. I'll just move here so I can force my king around. We've healed up enough to be able to fight again. We just have to worry about deep space, or not, Death from Beyond. That's the card. He has to worry about mine though. And I think I have lethal. 21 plus 25. Yep, lots of damage. That's intriguing. I didn't even know he ran that card. I think I'll do this because he's not on he's not on this. Now I'll just back off. No, I'll just win the game. Just like that. That's how this deck works. Just wait for the right time and then kill. I don't really know if it's worth it to make this video any longer and play against the force deck. When you play against the force deck, you just force yourself in and swing, and then you kind of just move out after taking 24 damage. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the deck. I'll show you guys the deck list again. I was not impressed by Explosion, so I think I would change that out. Maybe... Honestly, I think Flash is a really underrated card. But yeah, I'm thinking probably Barrier will be really good here. Barrier, as you probably know, means that you don't take damage the next two times, so it helps you weave a little bit better. You could also play something like Wings, which is very good against kings who have like good movement, which is a lot of them. And then it also lets you weave in without taking much damage. Like you only die to things that he plays. And then when you weave out again, like he can't chase you very quickly. So honestly, Wings might make more sense than Barrier in this deck, just because you are trying to take some damage and use your heal. So Barrier, I mean, it does let you use your heal, but I don't know. I think there's a place for both of them in the deck, to be honest. But I don't know what to drop. Soul Stealer, what does it even kill? What has 8 health or less? Okay, so it kills Miracle Mage, Siren, Red Reaper, Crystal Avatar. That's a real card. Mass Serpent, Soul Collector. Yeah, that was the big one. But I think in most cases I just kill everything 7 health or less with my Luminaries because it's safer. And really, that's just Soul Collector. And like, which, not even. Like, yeah, Pyromancer, sure, but Shades, yeah. So yeah, I don't think enough of these cards are really played for me to want Soul Stealer in this deck. So maybe I'd just put in another barrier. And like, I would work with this deck, but overall this sort of seems like how it would play. You might decide in the end that like 3 Wraithblade is too much. You probably wouldn't decide that though. You might decide 2 Oasis is not necessary if there's no if nobody's playing like flood type decks. Then I think you just drop Oasis and then you play I don't know, like a barrier. Yeah, I would do that. Play like 3 wings, 2 barrier, 3 barrier, 2 wings, something like that. That might be really good, to be honest. I think Ephemeral Garden is great in this deck because if your opponent is swinging at your Ephemeral Garden, then you're healing with your Deep Space Warrior. So that's really good. Overall, I like this. I was pretty happy with the way this deck played, other than Explosion. So yeah, this will be the deck for now. But I'll definitely be looking to see if Oasis is good in the meta, especially if I'm going to take this deck to a tournament. I may be looking to see if I need some more like mana cards now that I've added in. Like I've doubled the cost of explosion, and I've removed one of my mana cards to, well, what I've done is I've increased the cost of explosion by 5, and then I've made one of my mana generating cards become a 20 cost card. But yeah, that was my Weave deck. I hope you enjoyed it, and have fun playing with it. See ya.